You already know it's a Pirate Town Punks production.
Is the problem that you can't hear me if you mute yourself? Like, deafen me?
Yeah, so like I can't hear you, but last time when we did Japan versus Orre, that wasn't a problem. Anyways, fuck.
Not what?
Just do like commentary that I can hear. I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Just do commentary that you're allowed to hear?
Yes, yes. Wait, so they didn't actually bring Hitmontop. So that's interesting. They didn't bring Gligar. Oh, this is gonna be so scuffed.
You're fixing your stream layout?
Yeah, I'm doing a cute little thing with icons on the side.
It does remind me that timers exist. Oh, go on. Before timers existed, the way official tournaments worked was that judges literally just had to go to players and say, hey, pick a move, stop taking so much time. There really wasn't any proper enforcement, because when you don't have a time...
Okay, I think this works. I hope. It's gonna look a little bit scuffed, but what can you do?
Timer, like, what, barely.
Alright.
Yeah, like, if a judge really doesn't like you and you take too long thinking, will the judge disqualify you? Who knows? In Journey Across America, there was actually, at least according to what Scarm wrote, the Chicago regional champion who was disqualified for being Canadian.
Oh yeah.
Scarm got into finals, was asked for a hack check by the judges, but the judges didn't hack check his opponent because the judges said, oh, the other guy looks like he has a nice face. Like, that's arbitrary enforcement. It was the Wild West back in 2006.
Yeah. Alright,
I'm glad that things are slightly better today.
Okay, how do I
At
want to...
least on the stream, it appears you have the 6 mons correct for both sides, so... Yeah, just the big question, Nnico, do you think you can stream to Discord so that way there's not much of a lag to YouTube?
Let me try.
Because as of right now, I will start, so...
1 second. Yes. Am I streaming now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch it on Discord. Let's see how many seconds ahead we are.
Okay. Jolteon Espeon lead. What are they going to do? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I got a very clear path here. And neither of them have
Now we've got
HP
a
investment.
battle.
Anyways, Mosquito, you go ahead and just do your thing. I'm not gonna commentate.
Sure. It is very amusing how much nicer it looks on YouTube than it does on Discord. And the battle begins! The red corner makes a first move, and it's just a protect. We have Mr. Mime using Follow Me, presumably for a setup, and Espeon going for a hidden power redirected by that Mr. Mime, and Nnico's Salamence simply goes for a Dragon Dance. Its stats rose. Well, both corners still have a chance to win this. Who knows what kind of battle we can expect today? If you're in the chat and you haven't played Pokemon Battle Revolution, the announcer there is actually incredible. Like, single move. Commentated. We see Flame switch out the Jolteon for Venusaur, and Mr. Mime goes for another follow me. Are we going to see another dragon dance? And we are. Its stats keep on going up. What? Oh, what is Flame going to do in order to deal with this dragon dance Salamence? We see a reflect, which should mitigate the damage. Out with Salamence being immune to earth and a lack of explosion, this is looking really tough trying to get past this follow me, Mr. Mime. We'll see what Flame can do in order to deal with just stacking boosts on the Salamence. Espeon protects itself. Mr. Mime goes for another redirection, and we see a third Dragon Dance. Its stats are going through the roof right now. It has 2.5 times attack and speed. Venusaur opting for Sleep Powder, which hits. I am amazed by Venusaur's eyes, by the way. And it gets onto that Mr. Mime, which is now asleep. Except it has the Lomberry. Nnico is in an extremely advantageous position, +3/+3 Salamence, and the Mr. Mime is still healthy. So we're just gonna see what exactly Flame could do to get around the Salamence. Salamence goes for Protect, defending itself from a possible Sleep Powder, and Mime also protecting. We see the Hidden Power going into the Mr. Mime, not even into the Salamence, and a Sleep Powder, almost as if Flame was predicting a Protect from the Salamence. Protected to come from the Salamence, but not in the way that Flame wanted it to, hoping to get some damage and status on the Mr. Mime instead, both Pokemon protecting. We still have the very powerful +3/+3 Salamence staring down the Venusaur and the Espeon. It really will come down to what moves the Salamence knows. Another Follow Me comes out from Mr. Mime, and we see Salamence using Hidden Power. It's super effective on the Venusaur. I'm going to bet that's Hidden Power flying. And now without Venusaur threatening a Sleep Powder, there's nothing Espeon can really do to get around the Mr. Mime. It must click Hidden Power into the Mr. Mime, and presumably Hidden Power Ice. It deals 20%, and this game is now down to Nnico just clicking Follow Me and attacks. The way Follow Me works in Generation 3, if you haven't experienced it before on Showdown, Follow Me lasts until the end of the turn, which means if Mr. Mime is knocked out, moves will still be redirected towards that slot. This means that Nnico is in a better position. And a game of Pokemon is not a battle where Pokemon throw attacks at each other. It's a battle where they use status moves and they just wait. Very exciting gameplay. Flame is down a Pokemon, has to figure out a way, using the moves on Jolteon and Espeon, to get around this Mr. Mime. So is up in material advantage and up in stats. It's only a matter of time before the Salamence breaks through. Jolteon protects itself, and Mr. Mime just goes for more redirection as Nnico, going for the 4th Dragon Dance this game, simply does not care if attacks hit onto this Mr. Mime. One very big thing to note about Flame's team is that there is no ground resist at all, which means that if Salamence has Earthquake and it's at very high stats, the game is literally unwinnable, barring a Bright Powder miss. Nnico just using Protect again on both sides, presumably to stall out the Reflect. And yeah, we're just gonna go for more Follow Me and more Dragon Dancing, presumably, or maybe an attack. Nnico just goes for the 5th Dragon Dance in a row. This isn't much of a battle. This is a dancing game. Jolteon going for the Thunderbolt. It doesn't get the critical hit. Will it get a paralysis? Oh, and it gets the paralysis. And Espeon getting that hidden power, knocking out the Mr. Mime. Nnico no longer has redirection on his team with Mr. Mime knocked out, and instead just goes for a Ninjask. And now Nnico can no longer just click Dragon Dance, must attack. Well, I mean, Nnico can go for a Dragon Dance, nobody's stopping him. But Nnico with a +5/+5 Salamence, threatening to just deal massive damage to Flame's team. And Flame, on the other hand, is threatening those one-hit knockouts using hidden power against the Salamence. Unfortunately, Nnico Salamence goes for an Earthquake. Earthquake tears open the ground. Jolteon is down and out, and Espeon also taken out by that Earthquake. The ground immunity from Ninjask, Nnico is free to click Earthquake, and the game is over. Knowing now that Nnico has Earthquake, the game was basically over on probably like turn 3 or something when the Sleep Powder was negated by the Lumberry. And even to add insult to injury, Nnico managed to get the correct call, discovered attack onto the Starmie with Silverwind. Is going to be game 1. Nnico pulling off a 3-0 sweep against Flame using that Salamence. We're gonna go into game 2, and Flame's objective for the battle is, how do I hit Salamence if there's a Mr. Mime next to it? That will ultimately depend on what moves Flame has put onto his Pokemon, what moves he's trained his Pokemon with, but it's gonna be difficult. The Salamence having Earthquake, once it's set up, is free to just click it forever next to the Ninjask. Heck, if the Salamence is fully set up, I think you could just click Earthquake into your own Pokemon. It's still very difficult for Flame. So we'll see how Flame adapts to this. We are waiting for Nnico to select his 4 Pokemon. After that, it's off to the races. And the battle begins. Both players have selected their Pokemon. It's just time to send them out and see what's led. From the red corner, we have Rhydon and Starmie. Flame opting for Starmie game 2. And from the blue corner, Nnico has Dugtrio and Ninjask. Nnico, both players have adjusted their strategy. Neither of them are leading the same leads as game 1, and we're looking forward to an exciting game 2. How will both players adjust? What moves do they have that haven't been revealed? We know the Ninjask has Silver Wind. Otherwise, we don't know what's going on. Starmie protects itself. And Ninjask going for the swagger onto this Dugtrio, boosting it, getting ready to just deal damage with Earthquake. And Doug Trio goes for the Earthquake. KO the Rhydon. And it's out. Rhydon could not take an Earthquake. With that, Flame having dealt no damage, Nnico again in a fantastic position. It could go move. And Doug Trio simply outruns Espeon and Starmie. Barring a Bright Powder miss or a Mystic Water boost, I actually think Nnico just won on turn 1. It's over. Right, Nnico switching out the Ninjask, opting instead for a Salamence. And that Salamence is going to intimidate both the Starmie and the Espeon. Nnico just going for one more Earthquake. We'll see if it KOs at +2. It does stab, base 80 attack +2. Earthquake. It also takes out the Starmie, meaning that Flame has down to their last Pokemon. And again, yeah, the game's over. I shouldn't be making any more commentary. Game was over on turn 1. And knowing that it KOs the Starmie, I think game was over on turn 0. Yeah. Good game. That was really quick. And I think Nnico just prepared really well, and Flame either didn't have the tools or didn't prepare properly against the onslaught from Earthquake. I only think that having no ground resist was a very huge weakness of this team. I have to check the document, but maybe Flame might want to take this and adjust their lineup for later weeks.
All right. Well,
Nnico, on the other hand. Nnico, how do you feel about clicking Earthquake?
I think it's a fun move. I think people should click it more often. I think it's massively underrated, and yeah, I think this. Yeah, you should have Earthquake answers. I'm actually surprised they didn't bring Hitmontop,
Yeah.
or at least Gligar. But also, I'm really surprised they didn't bring Hitmontop, because that was the only way to, like, except for Reflect, to, like, nerf me physically.
Yeah.